anywhere near this thing when you're firing it. So you tie a piece of string to the trigger of the rifle, and the piece of string runs round there and into there. There's a bunker in there capable of holding 6 men. Well, there was until November, winter, until it collapsed. You can see the big hole there. And there's a piece of string running round here. When this was excavated, we found the whole mortar except for the barrel and the firing mechanism. Would you believe it? We found the lanyard running round here. We found 2 live rounds here. We found all the little boxes of bullets for firing it, and we found enough cordite to fill a wheelbarrow. The little bags had gone. The little bags had rotted away. The wheelbarrow cordite was wheeled by the French bomb disposal over there, put a little time charge on here, and there was one lucky school standing there when they exploded it. It wasn't an explosion, it was just a big flash and a bit of a fire. As soon as you fire 4 rounds, you get out of here as quick as you can. They call that shoot and scoot. You screwed out the rifle mechanism, you pulled a pin out the bottom, loosened the clamp, you took the barrel and the firing mechanism with you. And that's the bit we didn't find. But it'll be here on some of the in one of the other pits. The crew went along probably as far away as possible because the enemy are going to shell here and they're going to mortar here. You know, you're sending these up to them, they're going to retaliate, but you don't want to be here. What do you think the boys in the front line felt? They know they're not exploding, they're firing over their heads. Nice quiet morning, have a cup of tea, and the mortar crew comes in here to fire these things that you know aren't going off. When we excavated this, we found 240 transport plugs. 240 of the brass transport plugs. So there's 240 fired from here, and maybe not one of them exploded. I've walked these fields now for 15 years. I've found most things, but I've never found a piece of an exploded toffee apple mortar. You'll know it as soon as you see it with a curve on it, and I've never found a piece. So they weren't exploding. We went back home in December last year, and a gentleman came in November and he says, as soon as you get a chance, have a look over the back wall of Mill Road Cemetery. Didn't tell me what there was, and I nipped up and there was 10 of them, all pulled up by the farmer in the autumn ploughing at the back of Mill Road. They'd all gone into the ground and they hadn't exploded. They said as soon as it left the mortar, the tail wagged the dog. The big long tail that's going with it tumbled it in the air, and there's no chance of the bullet hitting straight, and there's no chance of it hitting anything hard. There was nothing hard up there.
So it needed something hard to explode.
Yes. The next ones was the Newton mortar, and it had a little nose cone on it. And for the first time, we actually have a mortar with fins on it that would go roughly where we wanted it to go. These things were very unpredictable. They were very close together, so they didn't really have much movement range of air. Anyone like to ask anything?
How long did they keep using those?
They stopped using them. They didn't take them out of the wood. They didn't take them away with them. So every mortar pit probably has one in it. We didn't take them to the Hindenburg line. They were never used on the Hindenburg line because, as I say, they were no use. Yeah. They're a fixed mortar, and once we move out of here, you can't use them.
But was it long before they copped on that they were, they were told they weren't exploding?
Oh, they knew they weren't exploding. Yeah. But they're brought up and they fire them, so no chance. Get hit in the head with one's probably your biggest danger. Folks, that's me finished.